So today I'm going to show you what Aperture can do an effect on your photos. So I'm going to show you of what to use and stuff like that. And also we're going to be using a subject as well, which is this Dare coffee, which I don't know why we're using it, but I feel like using it. And we're going to be using a bunch of things with Aperture as well. This also contributes towards ISO and shutter speed and all those type of things. So there is a thing called depth of field as well, which you can research and stuff like that. There's a thing called the rule of thirds, which is like that grid that you see on your phone or whatever when you're taking your photo. Like for example, you can't really see it, but there's like a line and stuff there. If I can actually take off my case, you might be able to see it. And so right now you see how the aperture here is f22. So the highest aperture I can go is towards 3.5, and right now I can actually see whatever. And so at the moment, the lowest aperture will give you the most blur, and then the highest will give you the most focused and also very dark as well. As right now it is currently like 4 p.m. or something. So right now we're just going to use the surroundings and seeing what we can get with this as well, and also using a bunch of compositions and stuff like that also as well. And I'll also be teaching you how to use Aperture properly, and when to use it and when not to use it as well, and also what types of photography to do. So let's just get straight into it. So at the moment I'm just going to be using something like this. Let's say like something like this as well. And then right now I've got the lower aperture and stuff. And then now, if I really want to try, and also the lighting is also the most important thing to get your subject as well. Let me just get my leg out of the way so you can actually see what I'm actually doing. So it's currently not even lined up towards, so you can actually use lines and composition in your photos and stuff, which is probably the most important thing, as all these type of things will affect your photos and stuff like that and whatnot. So right now it's actually not even focusing, which is a bit weird. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, I got an autofocus. What am I doing? So right now I'm actually not even really that close towards the subject, or either I can just tap it if you got the countdown 7. So right now we're not really that straight because the bottle is not straight, but that's okay. So you want to be very close to your subject when you're using Aperture, guys. And then also if you're using a person, whatever, make sure that the people selection is on the focusing, so then that way it's a lot more, so that way the camera can actually focus on the person and all those sort of things. You can actually also use like windows or whatever, and so that way there's like something with a line. So right now I actually let's use something like this. So just put the bottle like I said. It's not really the most flattest thing in the world, but you get what I mean. So if we want to just make sure that also the background is also key as well, and so like that way, see how there's like a little bit of blur. Okay, so at the moment my finger at the moment is f.5. So literally the aperture here, also it does depend on the lens as well. At the moment my lens can only go up to like 3.5, which is the lowest, which is what it says right now. But if we want to create some sort of motion blur, you gotta make sure that you have like a lower aperture, guys. So we'll just leave the bottle there actually. And so if I want to create something that's really blurry, whatever, so if I want to show you, so right now, let me just actually get it up at the moment. See how there's like a little bit of like the blur and stuff, and whatever the aim of the camera is actually aiming at, it will actually tell you, well, not tell you, but you can actually see what's in focus and what's not in focus as well. And also if you want to have, this is very good for macro photography as well. So if I want to take a photo of like a leaf or whatever, say for example like this, I want to get really close. I want to get really close towards the leaf or whatever. Bang. So it's like there's that blur there, which can be very good for sharpening your photos and stuff as well, especially towards people and stuff like that. And if you're not very close enough towards your subject, then then the blur will actually not be that good, because you're not very close towards subject. So for example, if I was going to try and, luckily for like a zoom, if I actually want to try and get something like this, whereas see here there's like a little bit of blur in the photo there, so like because I'm not very close towards the subject, there is blur, there's always going to be blur there and stuff like that, which is quite cool, I can imagine. But I reckon always be careful with your aperture and stuff, because the lowest aperture can be the most light in, and then the heaviest will be the most light out. And also always use the don't always use the rule of thirds, but it's always good to have a noticeable thing of how to use it and when not to use it, because when you're not using it, then you're just shooting whenever. For example, I want to do like you can actually use all these lines and stuff as well. So this is actually pretty a flat surface. So at the moment, I just want to grab, I just want to make sure that my line is straight. See how the thing is going green and stuff like that. And also it's quite dark, so let me just like, because I'm not really going to use fast shutter speed as well. And then like see how like there's like lines and stuff as well that you can see here. That is the rule of thirds, guys. So if you just want to like if you want to have your subject towards the left, you can, but make sure that your thing that you're using, like the square thing that you see, it will detect something, and you can actually use a line. You can actually have that. It's actually quite decent. There we go. Fuck me. See how there's like, I want to create that line and stuff that's leading to it. Or either I can actually just grab this, put it over here or something, and actually have like go really close towards that wall and stuff. Really go towards that wall and have that really sharp edge towards it. So it's just a quick example. Always use lines when you're having a low aperture if you're doing some sort of product thing, because then you just get those really sharp edge, and then the pollen type things leading towards it. Obviously it is dark, but you can use light. So the lowest light will be, or the lowest aperture will let you have the most light. So that's the way to use it. So if you're in like so for example, you're in a music, like you're taking photos for a band or something, use the lowest aperture, because there'll be the most light in, and also have a high ISO, not too high, because obviously there's gonna be noise unless the band really likes those. It's actually really nice. And then obviously, oh god, sorry, I'm not very well, but like obviously with composition and the rule of thirds, obviously use that as well. And like see how there's like buildings and stuff with all these lines and stuff, use that as well. You don't always have a go at using that. So we'll just do the example here. Or either you can actually just take a photo with a bottle or whatever and make sure, actually I don't really have a line or anything. I need a line, not like a anyways, you can just actually just use this wall here and create some sort of thing. Jesus, I'm a bit close. Or we can just use the fence as like a, oh, it's perfect. So we can actually use, just grab, so we're just get a little bit far away from the thing. We're gonna use these lines to lead the dare coffee as the main subject, so then people will know, like, because obviously with the leading subject as well, use these lines So then it's like, so then that way the whoever's looking at it can go, oh, that's the main subject there. Because if you get your audience to be very confusing, it's not really that great, because then they'll be very confused. So and stuff like that, which lower apertures will obviously be used in like macro photography, which for like flowers and stuff like that, especially with like animals and stuff as well. You're gonna be having like a very powerful animal, such as a lion, maybe an elephant or a walrus. I don't know. If I ever take a photo of a walrus, it'd be quite funny, because like yeah. Well, anyways, like, oh, here we go. Use all these like pipes and stuff to lead it. Lead. Always use these lines and stuff, because it's quite cool. So if, like, for example, I want to just put that like so. I just want to put that like there. Now if I want to use this wall as like a leading guideline for the person to be aware, let me just always dial down your thing. Let me just actually aim it. If you can actually see it, I hope you do, but you'll see what I mean in a second. So obviously get the composition right, whatever. Obviously if the product is not really if the product is not lined up or anything, or it's on the edge like what it is right now, as you can see, it's not straight, but always have them straight and stuff. Or either use like something like this to have like some sort of weird ass thing. I hope no one's down there. I hope the clown is not down there. So obviously it's gonna roll, isn't it? Yep, it's just gonna roll. So you can obviously use this and go like that, and then you really want to, let's just go like this. You can have like something that's leading towards it. If we just go really deep towards that ground, it actually looks really nice, but we want to have can't really do a low aperture, can we? Okay, I know how ISO it is. So obviously if we do it again, like so, have those leading lines and stuff as well. Obviously you can have like a horror, like some sort of weird ass pattern, but also always use the lines, because it makes it interesting rather than just a photo of a bottle. Because if I was going to do a photo of a bottle, I'd like to be home right now rather than being out here. But always use something in your subjects or whatever to make it more interesting. That way, it's not just a photo of a bottle, because I've done that before with the prime long exposure where it's just the bottle, but there was lines and stuff as well, because everything has to be interesting, obviously, but depending on how you use it and stuff. So for example, like this, there's a crack and stuff, but that's okay. Obviously, if I'm going to use something like this, if I want to just like really, you get the point now, but I'm just showing you of like what examples as well could be. But that's just not I know that's just a bottle, but like add in stuff if you can. I just use this because it was just there, plus it's my favorite coffee, so there's that too. And so like oh, here we go. Hopefully this is straight. Nope, it's not gonna be straight. So like obviously if you wanted to use like the top end of the bottle, it's not very creative. But you just use lines, use like trees and whatever. You can use those trees for patterns or whatever. Have something to do with them. Or either if it's like someone posing or whatever, use it. And if it's got like water and someone surfing, use them. Use anything, man. For example, these windows. You could like have like a bleeding Jesus, I forgot something. you can have like something like this. If I can actually get it straight, or either, let's try. If I really wanted to. Can't really use it, but you know, if you want to have like something like this, like aim up, you know, and then have something to lead on if you can. Also have it straight if you can. Yeah, like use just straight lines and stuff like that. Or either use pathways if you can. But over the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys do enjoy this video. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe. If you do want me to do more of like these some sort of tutorials where I show you exactly of, you know, what to use and stuff. And also one thing before I go, with this as well, let me just show you. You can actually use aperture priority, which can actually so the camera will automatically you know, use the shutter speed. See how here it's actually see how I've only got control over the aperture and whatnot. So like at the moment the camera is taking control of my shutter speed, but I still control of my ISO and stuff like that, which you can use if you don't know what aperture does. So then that way it's a bit more easier. And also if you don't know what shutter speed to use as well, the camera will take care of it itself. But obviously if you're a professional, use manual if you can. And so yeah, that is it for today, guys. I hope you guys do enjoy this. Yeah, just pretty much like and subscribe, all that type of stuff. And yeah, and see you guys later.